Michael Shannon has confirmed that he will return as General Zod, only with a little bit of a change physically. So here's what General Zod himself, Michael Shannon, said in an interview with The Vulture. I was in my costume and I couldn't use my fingers because in the sequel I have flippers instead of hands. So I had these wax flippers on my fingers and I couldn't open the door. And I could hear Zack Snyder being like, "Where's Shannon? Where the fuck is he?" Sorry. And the whole crew was standing around. I was like knocking on the door with my flippers. "Let me out of here." So, Michael Shannon, General Zod, describes them as flippers, but I think everyone's taking it a little too literal. I don't think they're flippers.
No, he's not going to have actual flippers. I think it's for CGI.
Yeah,
It's,
okay.
It's so... They're probably green flippers that they're going to be able to use for CGI, is my guess.
Okay. Now, some are speculating that he will, in fact, become Doomsday. How much do you buy into that?
I think we're going to get an incarnation of Doomsday, not the direct Doomsday from the comics. So,
Okay.
I think Lex Luthor... Because in the trailer, we see his dead corpse get unzipped in a
Yes.
body bag,
Yes.
right? So Lex Luthor got a hold of his body somehow,
Yeah.
and he's experimenting on him with kryptonite or
We saw him with
whatever.
Kryptonite, yes.
And obviously, Michael Shannon is playing a character that's alive at some point, because that doesn't make sense if he's just a dead body to have the flippers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the new threat that arises at the end of the movie is whatever creation Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor creates with Michael Shannon's body. But I don't think he's going to be conscious of knowing that he's General Zod.
Right.
I just think he's going to be a monster that has some of the powers of General Zod plus more, because we see, Batman getting blasted with the eyes, the eye lasers at the near the end of the trailer, and a lot of people were saying they don't think that's Superman, so that would make total sense. I think he's going to be a mixture of some of Superman's villains, but they're going to call him Doomsday, but he's going to be just a new incarnation of Doomsday. I gotta say, when I first read this, I got so excited. Like, I cannot wait for this. I hope they don't, because this can go really cheesy. If they're bringing General Zod back to life and creating a monster out of him, this can go. Think like Amazing Spider-Man 2 when Green Goblin comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, it can be a situation like that, but I don't think so. I think they're handling this correctly. I don't mind that. A lot of people could complain they're putting too much into this movie. Like, we'll just focus on Batman and Superman. But the movie's called... There's a reason they named it Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. There's going to be a situation that brings them together. At least, Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman. And who knows? We know that Ezra Miller as the Flash is probably going to be in it. That Cyborg's going to be in it. Aquaman's going to be in it. I don't know if they should do this or not, but what if they're all fighting Doomsday at the end of the movie, and they're just gonna totally surprise us? Who knows? Or maybe they're all on different parts of the world, and Doomsday's like destroying the whole world, and they all have to do stuff to protect different parts of the world. Maybe we don't see the Flash fighting with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, but he's somewhere else saving lives, like getting people away from the destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So. This is freaking fantastic news. I cannot wait for this movie. I'm going to lose my mind. But yes, you guys know this excites me, and I'm really glad to hear it. Do you like the idea of Doomsday or some type of monster being created from General Zod?
Oh, I love Michael Shannon coming back. He was... he might be the best performance of Man of Steel, honestly.
Oh, that's not... That's not crazy. I would agree.
And him being a more powerful General Zod and Superman needing the help of Wonder Woman and Batman doesn't seem too far-fetched. We'll see. It's closing on its release date, another 6 months.
So is it safe to say this is probably going to be some type of motion capture thing for him?
Yes.
but it's gonna kind of look like him in the face. Maybe, I don't know. But let me ask you something. So we always talk about how Marvel's villains are weak. You know, like more than often the villain falls short in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Correct?
Yeah.
So we've only had one DC Universe movie, and so far, General Zod was a fantastic villain
Yes.
with depth and a lot of character development and a lot of motivation. You understood why he's doing what he's doing. He's an A+ villain, like on Loki's level. If you know, if he appeared in more movies, you know,
Right.
Loki's been in 3 or 4 movies, so he's had more time to resonate with the fans. But
Yeah.
I'm saying just like first appearance versus first appearance, like Loki in the first Thor and General Zod in the first Superman. Like, so my question is, do you think, you know, DC has the potential to have a lot more stronger villains? They're 1-for-1 so far.
Yeah. I mean, look what they're doing with Suicide Squad. They're
Yeah.
introducing 8 or 9 new villains, and according to reports, they've all had confrontation with Batman at one point. So, do I think we're gonna get stronger villains in DC Universe? Probably yes. You look at Jared Leto's Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Killer Croc. Those are just Batman villains.
Yeah, well, just the villains they have available is more intriguing than Marvel. But see, the Marvel Cinematic Universe villains, like that they have available, are probably not as intriguing. But if Marvel had Magneto and Doctor Doom, which are 2 of the best Marvel villains, then I think they could maybe challenge DC. But they don't have those characters, so you know they have to capitalize on Loki. They have to capitalize on maybe bringing Venom in later or the Green Goblin. Like you got to come with some strong villains.
Yeah, well, now they have all of Spider-Man's villains essentially.
That's
you know?
And those are arguably some of the best Marvel villains. It's not as good, but it's equivalent to Batman's villains. You know, a lot of people say Batman and Spider-Man have the best rogues gallery. So
Yeah, and I mean Marvel just needs to do more. You know, they have Red Skull sitting on the shelf. You know, what happened with
they
him?
have had some good villains. Like obviously Loki.
Yeah,
I thought Red Skull was a great villain in the first Captain America. I personally like Ultron a lot, and I didn't mind Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought he was decent. Not a great villain, but decent. And we don't know what we're gonna get with Thanos yet, but you know, it's a debate to have later on when DC has 6 movies under their belt, and we can compare villain to villain to villain. So
yeah,
anyways, sorry, just it came to me while we were talking about that subject, but
getting sweaty, guys.
yeah.